Hello and welcome to River Panther, where we must capture this 15 strength fully suppressed Panther in just one turn. The rest of the units are not important. So, how do we go about this? Well, the river does play a role because it will make retreats by that Panther more difficult. We also have to take into account that we only have a limited number of mobile units. These two tanks, this recon, these two anti-tank guns that actually have speed too, and we have a long range of artillery pieces, all of them without transport, so they cannot be used to block anything. And we have this 15 strength IS-2 recon car and a KV-2 here. We also have a collection of other units. We have 3 battle groups. We can see by the stats these are probably intended to be used as blockers. We can also see from the number of slots we have that splitting is not part of the puzzle at all. So, how do we go about this? Well, we need to understand first the rules for retreat. When a unit takes at least 1/3 its remaining unsuppressed strength points in damage, it will retreat. And retreats work that the unit would try to retreat away from enemy zone of control. And it will also seek to use the least movement points. So, taking into account that we have a limited number of units that are mobile, but also a limited number of units that can actually hurt this Panther, because the Panther has 25 ground defense. So anything with less than 17 hard attack cannot do anything other than suppression damage, and thus cannot force it to retreat. So this guy has 20 hard attack, so they can hurt him. So my IS-2s and these KV-85s, these two, but this guy, no. And also these light tanks can only theoretically do suppression damage, which isn't enough to force it to retreat. So, of this group, these 2 anti-tank guns and this tank can make it retreat. And on the other side of this one strength cannot do enough damage, so only these 2 KVs. So what we do want is we want the Panther to retreat. So if I were to move over here and attack it, it would retreat away from my zone of control here. And because of that, we have to block this hex. We have to force one of these Germans to retreat into this hex. And then we have to do the same with this one. And we have to do the same with as many hexes as possible, including some of these hexes, because the Panther could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, to escape from zone of control. So my goal is to actually make it go down the road, not swing in here, not end up here, but land in this hex, where my anti-tank gun will knock it out, or force it to retreat again, but there will be no hex where he can actually reach. So to do this, we will force this unit over to this hex. We will force this unit into this hex, and we will force this unit into this hex. And like I said, we will finish it off with this guy. So how do we proceed? Well, we can do the easy things first. We can set up our little blocking group here. Now he will not want 2, 3, 4, because that hex is now in the zone of control of these three. So that's not very pleasant. I will attack this guy, and to avoid my zone of control, it will retreat to this hex. Now I can move these tanks after the fact to block any further retreats. So when the Panther comes down here, it cannot go into this hex, and it can't go into the river, and it cannot go any further. So I don't want to do anything more there. I can move this unit down here, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. So our next target is this one. I can just bomb them right away. And now we have shelled it a little bit. It has only a few points left, and to avoid it retreating elsewhere, we can bring in this guy, and when we attack now, we will go back through his own lines and into this area. Now it is time to make this guy fall back. Yes, he is almost fully suppressed now. So I'll move this unit over here, and I will make him retreat, and he retreats there. Now there are several options where we could go, but the important part is that the anti-tank gun, it could go here, for example, or it could go here. But if you go here, it might instead take this route and end up here, and if you push it back, then it will go from here to here. So the anti-tank gun wants to be here. Okay. Now if I move forward and attack the tank, it will now retreat and into this hex where I want it. And now I have this anti-tank gun, and it can actually hurt it. And it could retreat further, but this is 1, 2, 3 more movement points, and it has already moved 1, 2, 3, 4. So even with the road bonus, that is too much. And success. So most of the units in this scenario are not needed, they are just there to trick you. Okay, thanks for watching.